Marcus Rodriguez sat in the back seat of his black BMW. The car moved fast on the highway outside Guadalajara, Mexico. He looked at his gold watch. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He had an important meeting at 5 o'clock with some business partners. This meeting could make him millions of dollars. Marcus was the CEO of Preston Industries. His company made car parts for big car companies around the world. He was only 35 years old, but he was already very rich. He owned 3 houses, 2 boats, and 5 expensive cars. People always told him how smart and successful he was. The BMW suddenly made a strange noise. Marcus looked up from his phone. The car started to shake. Then it made a loud bang sound. Black smoke came out from under the hood. "What is happening?" Marcus asked his driver, Carlos. Carlos pulled the car to the side of the road. "I think the engine is broken, sir," he said. "We need to stop." Marcus felt angry. "This is a $50,000 car. It should not break down like this." He got out of the car and called his assistant, Jennifer, who was back in Texas. "Jennifer, my car broke down on some road in Mexico. Call BMW right now. Tell them to send someone to fix it immediately," Marcus said into his phone. "Sir, we are in the middle of nowhere," Jennifer said. "The nearest BMW dealer is 3 hours away in Mexico City. They cannot come to you quickly." Marcus looked around. The road was empty. There were small houses far away. Mountains were in the distance. He had never been in a place like this before. He always stayed in expensive hotels in big cities. "This cannot be happening," Marcus said. "I have the most important meeting of my life in 2 hours." Carlos opened the hood of the car. More black smoke came out. The engine made terrible sounds. Oil was leaking on the ground. "Sir, this engine is very damaged," Carlos said. "We cannot drive this car anymore." Marcus called his business partners. "I am going to be late," he told them. "My car broke down." "Marcus, this meeting is very important," said Mr. Patterson from New York. "We have other people who want to make this deal too. If you are not here on time, we might choose them instead." Marcus felt panic in his chest. This deal was worth $20 million. His company needed this money. He had spent 6 months working on this deal. "Give me 1 more hour," Marcus begged. "I will find a way to get there." Carlos was talking to someone on his phone in Spanish. Marcus could not understand what they were saying. After Carlos finished the call, he turned to Marcus. "Sir, my cousin lives near here. He says there is a car repair shop about 10 minutes away. Maybe they can help us," Carlos said. Marcus laughed, but not in a happy way. "A repair shop? In this place?" "Look around, Carlos. We are in the middle of nowhere. What kind of repair shop could be here?" "Sir, maybe they can fix the car quickly. Or maybe they have a car we can borrow," Carlos said. Marcus looked at his watch again. 4 o'clock. He had 1 hour left. He looked at the broken BMW. He looked at the empty road. No other cars were coming. "Fine," Marcus said. "But I am telling you now, no local mechanic will know how to fix this car. This is a German engine. It is very complex. Only trained professionals from BMW can work on it." Carlos started walking down the road. Marcus followed him, still talking on his phone with Jennifer. "Jennifer, call every car rental company in Guadalajara. I need a car delivered to me right now," Marcus said. "Sir, you are too far from the city. No rental company will drive that far. And it would take them 2 hours to reach you anyway," Jennifer said. Marcus felt more angry. Everything in his life always worked perfectly. When he wanted something, people made it happen. He had money, so problems always got solved quickly. But now in this place, his money could not help him. They walked for 10 minutes. Marcus's expensive shoes were not made for walking on dirt roads. His white shirt was getting wet with sweat. He was not used to being outside in hot weather. Finally, they saw a small building with a sign that said, "Morales Auto Repair," in Spanish and English. The building was old but clean. There were 3 cars parked outside. Marcus could hear someone working inside. "This is the repair shop?" Marcus asked. "It looks like someone's garage." "Sir, maybe they can help," Carlos said. Marcus looked at the building again. It was small and simple. not like the clean, modern BMW dealerships he was used to. He doubted anyone here could understand his expensive car, but he had no choice. His important meeting was in 50 minutes. This was his only hope. Marcus walked to the front door of the repair shop. He could hear tools working and music playing inside. He took a deep breath and opened the door. Inside, he saw a person working under a red pickup truck. Only their legs were showing. Tools were everywhere, but they were organized neatly. The floor was clean. The walls had certificates and awards hanging on them. "Hello?" Marcus called out. "I need help with my car." The person under the truck stopped working. They rolled out from under the truck on a small cart with wheels. Marcus expected to see a man with dirty clothes and oil on his hands. Instead, he saw a woman. She was about 28 years old with dark hair pulled back. She wore blue work clothes that were clean but had some oil stains. She had intelligent, dark eyes and strong hands. She stood up and wiped her hands on a cloth. "Good afternoon," she said in perfect English. "I am Elena Morales. How can I help you?" Marcus stared at her. He had never seen a woman working as a mechanic before. In his world, women worked in offices or shops, not with car engines. My car broke down on the highway," Marcus said. "But I think there might be a mistake. I need a real mechanic." Elena raised one eyebrow. "I am a real mechanic, sir. What kind of car do you have, and what is the problem?" Marcus felt embarrassed, but he still doubted she could help him. "It is a BMW 7 Series. The engine makes terrible noises and black smoke comes out. But this is a very expensive, complex car. I think I need to call BMW." Elena nodded. "Where's the car now?" "On the highway, about 10 minutes from here," Marcus said. Elena picked up a toolbox and some other equipment. "Let me come and look at it," she said. As they walked back to the car, Marcus looked at Elena. She seemed confident and professional, but he still could not believe that a woman in a small Mexican repair shop could fix his expensive German car. His phone rang. It was Mr. Patterson again. "Marcus, where are you?" "The meeting starts in 30 minutes, he said. Marcus looked at Elena, then at his broken car in the distance. Everything he had worked for was about to be lost. He had no choice but to trust this woman mechanic, even though he did not believe she could really help him. Elena walked quickly toward the broken BMW. Marcus followed behind her, checking his phone every few seconds. 25 minutes until his meeting. His heart was beating fast. When they reached the car, Elena put down her toolbox and looked at the engine. Black smoke was still coming out. Oil was still leaking on the ground. The engine made strange clicking sounds. "Carlos, can you turn on the engine for me?" Elena asked the driver. Carlos turned the key. The engine made horrible noises. For a few seconds, then stopped completely. More smoke came out. Elena opened her toolbox and took out a small flashlight. She looked carefully at different parts of the engine. She touched some wires and listened to different sounds. Marcus watched her work. "Ma'am, I appreciate your help," Marcus said. "But this is a very complex German engine. It has computer systems and special parts. I think we should wait for a BMW technician." Elena did not look up from the engine. She was examining something closely with her flashlight. "Sir, what is your name?" she asked. "Marcus Rodriguez. I am the CEO of Preston Industries." "Mr. Rodriguez, I can see what is wrong with your car," Elena said. She stood up and wiped her hands again. "Your engine has 3 problems. First, your fuel injection system is blocked. Second, your cooling system has a leak. Third, your timing belt is broken." Marcus stared at her. "How can you know all that just by looking?" "Because I have been working on cars for 15 years, Elena said. "I started helping my father when I was 13 years old. Also, I studied mechanical engineering at university." Marcus felt surprised. He had not expected this woman to have a university education. "Even if you know what is wrong, can you actually fix it?" Marcus asked. "These parts are very expensive and hard to find." Elena smiled for the first time. "Mr. Rodriguez, I have fixed many BMW engines. German cars are actually easier to work on than some others because they are built very logically. Marcus's phone rang again. It was Mr. Patterson. "Marcus, we are starting the meeting without you. If you are not here in 15 minutes, we are going to make the deal with the other company," Mr. Patterson said. Marcus felt desperate. This was the biggest deal of his career. Without it, his company might fail. "Elena, please," Marcus said. "I have the most important meeting of my life right now. Can you fix this car in the next 10 minutes? Elena looked at the engine again. "Mr. Rodriguez, this will take at least 2 hours to fix properly. Maybe 3 hours if I have to order special parts." Marcus felt his dreams breaking. All his work for the past 6 months was disappearing. "But," Elena continued, "I have a truck you can borrow. It will get you to your meeting." She pointed to an old pickup truck parked near her shop. It was red and looked like it was 20 years old. There were scratches on the sides and the paint was fading. Marcus looked at the old truck, then at his broken BMW. The truck looked terrible compared to his expensive car. "I cannot arrive at a business meeting in that truck," Marcus said. "My partners will think I am not successful. This meeting is with very important people." Elena shrugged. "Then you will miss your meeting." Marcus felt angry and frustrated. This woman did not understand how important he was. She did not understand that he could not be seen in an old truck. "Look," Marcus said, his voice getting louder, "I am offering to pay you very well to fix my car quickly. I have money. I can pay you triple your normal price." "Mr. Rodriguez, money cannot make time go faster," Elena said calmly. "Your engine needs specific parts and careful work. If I try to fix it quickly, I might make it worse." Marcus looked at his watch. 15 minutes until the meeting. He looked at Elena, who was standing with her arms crossed, waiting for his decision. Suddenly, Marcus felt very frustrated with this whole situation. He was angry at his car for breaking down. He was angry at being stuck in this place. He was angry at this woman who would not do what he wanted, even when he offered her money. "Fine," Marcus said sarcastically. "If you are such a great mechanic, if you really can fix this expensive, complex German engine, then I will be very impressed." Elena waited for him to continue. Marcus's frustration made him say something he would later regret. "In fact, if you can actually fix this engine and make it run perfectly again, I will marry you." As soon as he said it, Marcus knew it sounded terrible. He had meant it as a joke, a way to show that he did not believe she could fix his car. But it came out sounding mean and insulting. Elena's face changed. Her friendly expression disappeared, her eyes became cold. "Excuse me," she said quietly. Marcus realized he had made a mistake. I mean it was a joke because you do not think a Mexican woman can fix your car?" Elena asked. Her voice was calm, but Marcus could hear anger underneath. "No, that is not what I meant," Marcus said quickly. But he knew that was exactly what he had meant. Elena stared at him for a long moment. Carlos, the driver, looked uncomfortable and stayed quiet. "Mr. Rodriguez," Elena said finally, "I accept your challenge." "What?" Marcus asked. "I will fix your car. I will make it run better than it did when you bought it," Elena said. "And when I do, you will keep your promise." Marcus felt panic. "Wait, I was not being serious. It was just a way of saying that you think I cannot do my job because I am a woman? Because I am Mexican? Because my shop is small?" Elena asked. Marcus did not answer because he knew she was right. "I have been working on cars since I was a child," Elena continued. "I have a degree in mechanical engineering. I have fixed engines that BMW dealerships could not fix. But you look at me and see someone who cannot help you?" Marcus felt ashamed, but he was also still frustrated about his meeting. "Elena, please, I apologize. I said something stupid. But right now I just need to get to my meeting. Can we please focus on that?" Elena picked up her tools. "Your meeting is your problem, Mr. Rodriguez. But your car I can fix. And I will." She started walking back toward her shop. "Carlos, you can bring the car to my shop with a tow truck. I will call someone to come get it." "Wait," Marcus called after her. "How long will it really take?" Elena turned around. 2 days, maybe 3. 2 days, Marcus shouted. I cannot stay here for 2 days. I have a company to run. Then you should not have made promises you did not mean, Elena said. She continued walking toward her shop, leaving Marcus standing next to his broken car on the empty highway. Marcus called Jennifer again. Cancel everything for the next 3 days, he said sadly. I am stuck in Mexico. What about the Patterson deal? Jennifer asked. Marcus watched Elena disappear into her shop. The Patterson deal is gone. He had lost $20 million because of his broken car and his big mouth. Now he was stuck in a small Mexican town with a woman mechanic who was angry at him. Marcus looked at the old red pickup truck that Elena had offered to let him borrow. It was his only way to get to a hotel for the night. He had never felt so powerless in his life, and it was all because of his own stupid words. The next morning, Marcus woke up in a small hotel room in the town. He had spent the night thinking about his stupid words to Elena. He had also spent the night worrying about his company. Losing the Patterson deal was going to hurt his business badly. Marcus walked to Elena's shop around 9 o'clock in the morning. He wanted to apologize and ask her to work faster on his car. Maybe if he explained how important he was, she would understand. When he arrived at the shop, he saw his BMW inside the building. Elena was already working on it. She had taken apart many pieces of the engine. Parts were organized neatly on a large table. Good morning, Marcus said carefully. Elena looked up from the engine. Mr. Rodriguez, your car is worse than I thought. Yesterday? What do you mean? Marcus asked. Elena pointed to different parts of the engine. Someone has been fixing this car badly for a long time. Look at this wire here. It is connected wrong. And this part here, it is not the right part for this engine model. Marcus felt confused. But I always take my car to the BMW dealership. They are certified mechanics. Elena picked up a small metal piece. This is a cheap copy part, not a real BMW part. A real BMW part would cost 3 times more, but it would last much longer. She showed Marcus several other problems. Also, your oil has not been changed in too long, and your air filter is very dirty. These things made your engine work too hard. Marcus felt embarrassed. He had always thought that paying high prices at the BMW dealership meant his car was getting the best care. So the dealership was cheating me? Marcus asked. Maybe not cheating, but not doing good work, Elena said. They wanted to fix your car quickly and cheaply. They did not care about doing it right. Elena continued working while she talked. Marcus watched her hands move quickly and confidently around the engine. She seemed to know exactly what she was doing. Elena, I want to apologize for what I said yesterday, Marcus said. It was rude and stupid. Elena did not stop working. Mr. Rodriguez, I have heard worse things from men who think women cannot work on cars. Your words did not surprise me. But they hurt you? Marcus said. Elena looked at him for a moment. Yes, they did. Because they showed me that you think you are better than me. Marcus felt ashamed. I do not think I am better than you. Yes, you do, Elena said simply. You think that because you have money and an expensive car, you are more important than people like me. You think that because I work with my hands in a small shop, I must not be smart. Marcus wanted to argue, but he realized she was right. That was exactly what he had thought. You are right, Marcus admitted. I was wrong about you. Elena put down her tools and looked at him seriously. Mr. Rodriguez, let me tell you something about myself. I graduated from university with the highest grades in my engineering class. I have designed parts that are now used in cars all over the world. Car companies have offered me jobs that pay more money than you probably think. Marcus felt more surprised. Then why do you work in this small shop? Because when my father was dying, I promised him I would keep his business alive, Elena said. This shop has been in my family for 40 years. My father started it with nothing. He taught me that working with your hands is just as important as working with your mind. Elena picked up her tools again and continued working. Also, I like helping people in my community. Mrs. Garcia brings her old car here, and I fix it cheaply so she can drive to work. Young people bring their first cars here, and I teach them how to take care of them. Marcus watched Elena work for a while without saying anything. He was learning that this woman was very different from what he had first thought. Elena, about my promise yesterday, Marcus started to say. You mean about marrying me? Elena said without looking up from the engine. Yes, I hope you know I was not serious. Elena smiled, but not in a friendly way. Of course you were not serious. You think you are too good for someone like me. That is not. Marcus began. Mr. Rodriguez, let me ask you something, Elena said. What kind of woman do you usually date? Marcus thought about his girlfriend back in Texas. Rebecca was a lawyer from a rich family. She had blonde hair and always wore expensive clothes. She never got her hands dirty and always looked perfect. I date professional women, Marcus said. Lawyers, doctors, businesswomen. Women who look good at fancy parties? Elena asked. Well, yes, Marcus admitted. Women who never disagree with you? Women who think you are wonderful because you have money? Elena continued. Marcus felt uncomfortable because Elena was right again. Elena stood up and wiped her hands. Mr. Rodriguez, I am going to fix your car perfectly. When I do, your promise will be complete. But do not worry. I do not want to marry you either. Why not? Marcus asked. He was surprised that this hurt his feelings a little. Because you think marriage is a game, Elena said. You made that promise as a joke to show that you do not respect me. Real marriage is about two people who respect each other and want to build a life together. Elena walked to her workbench and picked up some new parts. Also, I do not want to marry a man who looks down on me and my work. Marcus watched Elena work for the rest of the morning. She moved confidently around the engine, taking apart complex systems and putting them back together. Every movement showed years of experience and knowledge. Around lunchtime, Elena's phone rang. She answered it in Spanish, then in English. Yes, Mr. Johnson, I received your email, she said. I can design that new cooling system for your trucks. But I told you before, I will not move to Detroit to work for your company. After she hung up, Marcus asked, Who was that? A man from Ford Motor Company, Elena said. They want me to come work for them in their main office. They have been asking me for 2 years. Marcus felt amazed. Ford wants to hire you? Ford, General Motors, and Toyota have all offered me jobs, Elena said. But I told you, I promised my father I would keep this shop. Marcus realized he had completely misunderstood this woman. She was not just a small-town mechanic. She was a talented engineer who chose to stay in her community. Elena, I owe you a real apology, Marcus said. I judged you completely wrong. Elena looked at him while she worked. Mr. Rodriguez, judging people wrong can cost you a lot in life. Yesterday it cost you a $20 million deal. Marcus felt the pain of losing that business deal again. But for the first time he also felt ashamed of how he had treated Elena. What can I do to make this right? Marcus asked. Elena thought for a moment. You can stop thinking that money makes you better than other people. And you can stop thinking that someone's job tells you how smart they are. Marcus nodded. I will. Try. Good, Elena said. Now let me work. Your engine needs a lot of attention. As Marcus watched Elena work that afternoon, he began to see her differently. She was not just fixing his car, she was solving complex problems with intelligence and skill. For the first time in his life, Marcus realized that he had a lot to learn from someone he had thought was beneath him. On the second day, Marcus returned to Elena's shop in the morning. He had spent another night thinking about everything Elena had told him. He was starting to understand how wrong his first impressions had been. Elena was already working when he arrived. She had put his engine back together, but now she was working on something else, a small metal device that she was building from scratch. What is that? Marcus asked. Elena looked up from her work. It is an improvement for your engine. The original design has a problem that makes it waste fuel. I am building a better part. Marcus watched her work with small tools, shaping metal precisely. You are making a new part for my car? Yes, Elena said. When I fix something, I like to make it better than it was before. Marcus felt curious. How did you learn to do this? Elena smiled as she worked. My father taught me to always look for ways to improve things. He used to say, Elena, anyone can copy what already exists, but smart people make things better. Tell me about your father, Marcus said. Elena put down her tools and looked at a picture on the wall. It showed a man with kind eyes standing next to a much younger Elena. His name was Roberto Morales, Elena said. He came to this town 40 years ago with no money and no job. He started fixing cars under a tree by the road. Elena picked up the picture and showed it to Marcus. He taught himself everything about engines by taking them apart and putting them back together. He never went to school, but he was the smartest man I ever knew. How did he build this business? Marcus asked. Very slowly, Elena said. First, he saved money to buy tools. Then he saved more money to rent this building. He worked every day, even when he was sick. He was honest with people, so they trusted him. Elena put the picture back on the wall. When I was small, I used to sit here after school and watch him work. He would explain everything to me. He said that understanding how things work is the key to fixing them. Marcus looked around the shop. He noticed things he had not seen before. There were certificates on the walls from engineering organizations. There were awards for mechanical innovations. There were letters from car companies, thanking Elena for her designs. Elena, you said car companies want to hire you. Why do they want you so badly? Marcus asked. Elena walked to a cabinet and pulled out a folder full of papers. These are patents for things I have invented, she said. She showed Marcus drawings of engine parts with complex measurements and explanations. This one makes engines use less fuel. This one makes them last longer. This one makes them run more quietly. Marcus looked at the papers. They were covered with mathematical formulas and engineering calculations that he could not understand. How many patents do you have? Marcus asked. 17, Elena said, and I am working on 3 more. Marcus felt amazed. He ran a company that made car parts, but he had never invented anything himself. He just managed other people who did the real work. Elena, these inventions must be worth a lot of money, Marcus said. They are, Elena said. But I do not sell them to make myself rich. I license them to companies so that all cars can be better. Marcus did not understand. What do you mean? I could sell each patent for millions of dollars to one company, Elena explained. But then only that company could use my invention. Instead, I license them to many companies for less money each. That way, more people benefit from better cars. Marcus realized that Elena thought about business very differently than he did. He always tried to make the most money possible from everything. Elena tried to help as many people as possible. That is very generous of you, Marcus said. Elena shrugged. My father taught me that business should help the community, not just make the owner rich. Around noon, Elena's phone rang again. This time the call was in Spanish. Marcus could hear that the caller sounded upset. What is wrong? Marcus asked after Elena hung up. Mrs. Martinez's car broke down on her way to work, Elena said. She is a single mother with 3 children. She cannot afford to miss work, and she cannot afford to pay for a tow truck. Elena picked up her keys. I need to go help her. But what about my car? Marcus asked. Elena looked at him with surprise. Mr. Rodriguez, Mrs. Martinez needs help right now. Your car will still be here when I get back. Marcus felt embarrassed. He had been thinking only about his own problems. Can I come with you? Marcus asked. Elena looked surprised again. Why? Maybe I can help, Marcus said. Elena studied his face for a moment. Okay, but we are taking my truck. They drove to where Mrs. Martinez was waiting with her broken car. She was a small woman who looked very worried. She had 3 young children with her. Elena spoke to Mrs. Martinez in Spanish, then looked under the hood of her car. After a few minutes, Elena found the problem and fixed it quickly. Mrs. Martinez tried to pay Elena, but Elena refused to take her money. Elena, why did you not charge her? Marcus asked as they drove back to the shop. Because she does not have extra money, Elena said. She works 2 jobs to take care of her children. If her car does not work, she cannot get to her jobs. But You spent your time and used your tools, Marcus said. Mr. Rodriguez, what good is my skill if I only use it to make money? Elena asked. Mrs. Martinez has helped me many times. When my father was sick, she brought us food every day. Marcus thought about this. In his world, business was always about making money. He had never thought about helping people just because it was the right thing to do. Elena, how do you make enough money to keep your business running if you help people for free? Marcus asked. I charge fair prices to people who can afford to pay, Elena said. Like you. Your car repair will cost you $1,500. Marcus laughed. $1,500? The BMW dealership charges me $3,000 for much less work. That is because they charge too much, Elena said. I charge what the work is worth, not what I think you can afford to pay. That afternoon, Elena finished building the new part for Marcus's engine. She installed it carefully and tested the engine several times. Come listen to this, Elena said. Marcus listened to his engine running. It sounded smoother and quieter than it ever had before. It sounds amazing, Marcus said. How did you make it better? Elena explained the technical details of what she had done. Marcus could not understand all of it, but he could see that Elena had improved his expensive car in ways that the BMW dealership never could. Elena, you have done something incredible, Marcus said. You have not just fixed my car, you have made it better than new. Elena smiled proudly. That is what I promised I would do. Marcus realized that Elena had kept her word perfectly. She had fixed his engine and made it run better than ever. According to his stupid promise, he now owed her something that he had never intended to give. But more importantly, Marcus realized that he had learned something valuable during these 2 days. He had learned that intelligence and skill could be found in places he had never thought to look. He had learned that someone's job did not tell you anything about their worth as a person. Most importantly, he had learned that Elena Morales was an extraordinary woman, and he had almost missed knowing her because of his own prejudices. Elena, Marcus said, you have taught me more in 2 days than I learned in years of business school. Elena looked at him carefully. What have you learned? I have learned that I do not know as much as I thought I did, Marcus said honestly. For the first time since he had met her, Elena smiled at him in a genuinely friendly way. On the third morning, Elena called Marcus at his hotel. Mr. Rodriguez, your car is ready. Marcus felt excited and sad at the same time. He was happy to have his car back, but he realized he did not want to leave yet. The past 2 days had been different from any other days in his life. When Marcus arrived at the shop, Elena was standing next to his BMW with a smile on her face. The car looked perfect. It was clean and shiny, and the engine was running smoothly. Test. Drive it, Elena said, holding out the keys. Marcus got in his car and drove around the town for 10 minutes. The engine ran better than it ever had. It was quieter, more powerful, and smoother. When he returned to the shop, he was amazed. Elena, this is incredible, Marcus said. My car has never run this well even when it was new. I told you I would make it better than before, Elena said proudly. Marcus looked at the invoice Elena handed him, $1,500 just as she had promised. At the BMW dealership, this work would have cost at least $4,000 and would not have been done as well. Elena, this price is too low, Marcus said. You have done so much work, and you made custom parts. Please let me pay you more. Elena shook her head. I charge fair prices, remember? That is what this work is worth. Marcus pulled out his wallet and counted out the money. As he handed it to Elena, he felt strange. He did not want this to be the end of their interaction. Elena, I have a confession, Marcus said. I do not want to leave. Elena looked surprised. Why not? You have your car back. You can return to your important business. Marcus thought about how to explain his feelings. These past 3 days have been the most interesting days I have had in years. I have learned so much from you. What have you learned? Elena asked. Marcus sat down on a chair in the shop. I have learned that I have been living my life in a very small way. I thought success meant having money and impressing other people. But you have shown me that real success is about being skilled at something meaningful and helping other people. Elena listened quietly. I have also learned that I have been missing out on knowing amazing people because I judged them by the wrong things, Marcus continued. If I had not been forced to come to your shop, I would never have met you, and that would have been my loss. Elena sat down across from him. Mr. Rodriguez, what is your life really like? Marcus thought about his answer. Busy. I work 12 hours a day. I have meetings all the time. I travel constantly. I make a lot of money, but I do not really enjoy my work anymore. What do you enjoy? Elena asked. Marcus realized he had not thought about this question in a long time. I used to enjoy building things. When I was young, I wanted to be an engineer, but I became a businessman instead because it paid more money. Do you miss engineering? Elena asked. Yes, Marcus said. I miss creating things and solving problems. Now I just manage other people who do the real work. Elena nodded. My father used to say that work should feed your soul, not just your bank account. They sat quietly for a moment. Marcus looked around the shop again. He noticed how everything was organized perfectly. He noticed how all the tools were clean and well maintained. He noticed how proud Elena was of her work. Elena, can I ask you a personal question? Marcus said. Yes. Are you happy with your life? Elena smiled. Most days, yes. I love my work. I love helping people. I love creating new things. I love living in this community where I grew up. Do you ever want more? Marcus asked. More of what? Elena asked. More money, a bigger house, a fancier car, more recognition. For your work? Elena thought about this. Sometimes I think it would be nice to have more resources so I could help more people. But I do not need those things to be happy. Marcus felt envious. He had much more money than Elena, but he was not as happy as she was. Elena, there is something else I need to tell you, Marcus said. About my promise. Elena held up her hand. Mr. Rodriguez, you do not need to worry about that. I know you were not serious. But what if I was serious now? Marcus asked. Elena stared at him. What do you mean? Marcus felt nervous, but he continued talking. I mean, what if spending these 3 days with you has made me realize that you are an extraordinary woman? What if I have developed real feelings for you? Elena's expression became serious. Mr. Rodriguez, you do not know me well enough to have real feelings for me. Maybe not, Marcus admitted, but I know enough to want to know more. Elena stood up and walked to the window. Mr. Rodriguez, we live in very different worlds. You live in Texas with rich people and fancy cars. I live here with my community and my work. Those are just circumstances, Marcus said. They can be changed. Elena turned around to face him. Can they? Would you really want to give up your fancy life to live in a small Mexican town? Marcus had not thought about this. I do not know. And would you want me to give up my life here to live in your world of business meetings and expensive restaurants? Elena asked. Marcus realized he had not thought about this either. I do not know that either. Elena walked back to him. Mr. Rodriguez, I think you are attracted to the idea of me, not to the real me. You are attracted to someone different from the women you usually date. But attraction is not enough for a real relationship. Marcus felt disappointed. But he knew Elena was right. He was attracted to her, but he had not really thought about what a relationship with her would mean. But what if we could find a way to make it work? Marcus asked. Elena smiled sadly. Mr. Rodriguez, you live in a world where you think money can solve any problem. But relationships are not business deals. They require two people who really understand each other and want the same things in life. Marcus felt frustrated. So you will not even consider it? I will not consider it as a fantasy, Elena said. If you want to know me better, you need to understand what my life is really like. And I need to understand what your life is really like. Marcus thought about this. What do you mean? I mean that if you are serious about wanting to know me better, you need to spend real time here. Not as a tourist who is stuck because his car broke down, but as someone who wants to understand this place and these people. Marcus felt excited. I could do that. I could come back and visit. For how long? Elena asked. A weekend? A week? Elena shook her head. Mr. Rodriguez, you cannot understand someone's life in a week. If you are serious, you would need to spend at least a month here, working with your hands, helping people, living like we live. Marcus thought about taking a month away from his business. It seemed impossible, and, Elena continued, I would need to spend time in your world too. I would need to see how you live and work when you are not stranded on a highway. Marcus imagined Elena in his world of business suits and corporate meetings. He tried to picture her at the fancy parties he attended. Somehow, he could not imagine it working. This sounds very complicated, Marcus said. Real relationships are complicated, Elena said. That is why most people settle for simple ones that do not really mean anything. Marcus stood up and walked to his car. He put his hand on the hood and felt the smooth vibration of the perfectly running engine. Elena, I do not know if I am brave enough to try what you are suggesting, Marcus admitted. That is honest, Elena said. Most people are not brave enough. Marcus looked at Elena one more time. She was beautiful, but more than that, she was intelligent, skilled, caring, and strong. She was everything he had not known he was looking for. If I come back, will you give me a chance? Marcus asked. If you come back for the right reasons, yes, Elena said. Marcus got in his car and started the engine. It purred perfectly. What are the right reasons? Marcus asked through the open window. Elena smiled. You will know when you figure that out. As Marcus drove away from Elena's shop, he felt confused and excited and scared all at the same time. He had come to this town as an arrogant businessman whose car had broken down. He was leaving as a man who had discovered that everything he thought he knew about success and happiness might be wrong. Marcus returned to Texas, but he could not stop thinking about Elena. Every day at work, he remembered their conversations. Every time he started his car and heard the perfect sound of the engine she had fixed, he thought about her skilled hands and intelligent mind. For the first week, Marcus tried to forget about Elena and focus on his business. He had lost the Patterson deal, and his company was having financial problems. He needed to find new clients and make new deals. But everything felt different now. In business meetings, Marcus found himself noticing how his colleagues talked about people from other countries. He heard them make jokes about cheap Mexican labor and uneducated workers. These comments had never bothered him before, but now they made him angry. Marcus also started noticing how he treated the people who worked for him. His cleaning lady, Maria, had been working in his office for 3 years, but he had never bothered to learn her last name or ask about her family. His driver, James, always waited patiently outside in the car, but Marcus had never thought to invite him inside during long meetings. After 2 weeks, Marcus called Elena. He told himself he just wanted to thank her again for fixing his car. Hello, Elena? This is Marcus Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, hello. How is your car running? Perfectly. Better than ever. Elena, I wanted to thank you again for your excellent work. You already thanked me and you paid me, Elena said. Is there something else you need? Marcus felt nervous. I was wondering, how is your work going? Are you working on any new inventions? Elena paused. Mr. Rodriguez, why are you really calling? Marcus realized he could not pretend this was just a business call. I have been thinking about you, about our conversations, about what you said about understanding each other's lives. And? Elena said. And I think I would like to try, Marcus said. Try what exactly? I would like to come back and spend time there, real time, like you suggested. Elena was quiet for a moment. Mr. Rodriguez, when you were here, you lost a $20 million deal because you could not leave for 1 day. How can you spend a month here? Marcus had been thinking about this. I can teach my assistant to handle more responsibilities. I can do some work by phone and email, and maybe losing that deal was not the worst thing that could happen to me. What do you mean? I mean, maybe I have been so focused on making money that I forgot about everything else that matters, Marcus said. Elena sighed. Mr. Rodriguez, I have Heard many men say things like this. They meet me and think I am exotic and interesting because I am different from the women they usually know. But when the excitement wears off, they remember that they prefer their comfortable lives. Marcus felt hurt. You think I am just looking for excitement? I do not know what you are looking for, Elena said honestly. That is why I think you need to figure it out before you come back. After that phone call, Marcus felt frustrated. He wanted to prove to Elena that his feelings were real, but he did not know how. Marcus started taking Spanish lessons during his lunch breaks. He also started reading about Mexican culture and history. He learned about the engineering innovations that had come from Mexico. He was surprised to discover how much he did not know about the country that was so close to his own. A month after leaving Elena's town, Marcus called her again. Elena, I have been taking Spanish lessons, Marcus said in careful Spanish. Elena laughed. Your pronunciation needs work, but I am impressed that you are trying. Elena, I want to ask you something seriously, Marcus said, switching back to English. If I come back for a month, what would I actually do there? I do not know how to fix cars. There are many ways to help people, Elena said. You could help me with the business side of my shop. You could help other local businesses with their accounting or marketing. You could teach English to young people who want to learn. Marcus had not thought about using his business skills to help a small community. Would people want my help? If you come with the right attitude, yes, Elena said. But you have to understand. People here do not have much money to pay for business consulting. I do not need to be paid, Marcus said. I have enough money. That is not the point, Elena said. The point is whether you can be happy doing work that helps people instead of work that makes you rich. Marcus thought about this. He realized he had never done work just to help people before. Elena, can I ask you something personal? Marcus said. Yes. Have you ever been in love? Elena was quiet for a long time. Yes, I have. What happened? I was engaged to a man named Diego when I was 25, Elena said. He was an engineer who worked for a car company in Mexico City. He was smart and kind, and I thought we would be happy together. What went wrong? He wanted me to move to Mexico City and work for his company. He said I was wasting my talents. In this small town? He could not understand why I wanted to keep my father's shop. Marcus felt a pain in his chest. So you chose your shop over him? I chose to be true to myself over trying to be what someone else wanted me to be, Elena said. Diego loved the idea of me, but he did not love the real me. The real me belongs here, with these people doing this work. Marcus understood that Elena was warning him. She was telling him that if he wanted to be with her, he had to accept her as she was, not try to change her. Elena, what if someone could love the real you and still want to share your life here? Marcus asked. That would be wonderful, Elena said. But that person would have to prove that they could be happy with a simple life in a small town. 2 months after his car had broken down, Marcus made a decision. He called his assistant, Jennifer, into his office. Jennifer, I need you to take over running the company for 6 weeks, Marcus said. Jennifer looked shocked. 6 weeks? Sir, what is wrong? Are you sick? No, I am not sick, Marcus said. I am going to Mexico to learn something important. What kind of business deal requires 6 weeks in Mexico? Jennifer asked. Marcus smiled. It is not a business deal. It is a personal deal. Marcus spent a week preparing for his trip. He arranged for Jennifer to handle all his responsibilities. He studied more Spanish. He bought work clothes instead of business suits. Most importantly, Marcus broke up with his girlfriend, Rebecca. Marcus, I do not understand, Rebecca said. You are giving up your business to chase after some Mexican mechanic? This is crazy. Rebecca, I am not giving up my business, Marcus said. I am trying to figure out what I really want in life. You want money and success, Rebecca said. That is what you have always wanted. Marcus realized that Rebecca did not know him very well. She only knew the version of himself that he had been showing to the world. Maybe I want something different now, Marcus said. Rebecca shook her head. You will regret this, Marcus. You will miss your comfortable life and you will come back, but I will not be waiting for you." Marcus felt sad but not sorry. He realized that he and Rebecca had never really understood each other either. Before leaving for Mexico, Marcus called Elena one more time. "Elena, I am coming back next week. For 6 weeks?" "Are you sure about this?" Elena asked. "No," Marcus said honestly. "I am not sure about anything anymore. But I know I need to try." "What changed your mind?" Marcus thought about his answer. "I realized that the night I met you, when I made that stupid promise, maybe it was not completely stupid. Maybe some part of me already knew that you were special." Elena was quiet for a moment. "Mr. Rodriguez, if you come back, you need to know that I will not make anything easy for you. You will have to work hard, get your hands dirty, and live, like everyone else here." "I understand," Marcus said. "And you need to know that I might decide you are not right for me," Elena said. "Spending more time together might show us that we are too different." "I understand that too," Marcus said. "Then, come," Elena said, "let us see what happens." As Marcus packed his clothes for Mexico, he felt nervous and excited. He was about to leave his comfortable life to chase after a woman who might reject him. He was about to spend 6 weeks in a place where his money and status meant nothing. For the first time in his adult life, Marcus Rodriguez was about to find out who he really was when he had nothing to prove and nothing to hide behind. Marcus returned to Texas, but he could not stop thinking about Elena. Every day at work, he remembered their conversations. Every time he started his car and heard the perfect sound of the engine she had fixed, he thought about her skilled hands and intelligent mind. For the first week, Marcus tried to forget about Elena and focus on his business. He had lost the Patterson deal, and his company was having financial problems. He needed to find new clients and make new deals. But everything felt different now. In business meetings, Marcus found himself noticing how his colleagues talked about people from other countries. He heard them make jokes about cheap Mexican labor and uneducated workers. These comments had never bothered him before, but now they made him angry. Marcus also started noticing how he treated the people who worked for him. His cleaning lady, Maria, had been working in his office for 3 years, but he had never bothered to learn her last name or ask about her family. His driver, James, always waited patiently outside in the car, but Marcus had never thought to invite him inside during long meetings. After 2 weeks, Marcus called Elena. He told himself he just wanted to thank her again for fixing his car. "Hello, Elena? This is Marcus Rodriguez." "Mr. Rodriguez, hello. How is your car running?" "Perfectly. Better than ever." "Elena, I wanted to thank you again for your excellent work." "You already thanked me and you paid me," Elena said. "Is there something else you need?" Marcus felt nervous. "I was wondering, how is your work going? Are you working on any new inventions?" Elena paused. "Mr. Rodriguez, why are you really calling?" Marcus realized he could not pretend this was just a business call. "I have been thinking about you, about our conversations, about what you said about understanding each other's lives." "And?" Elena said. "And I think I would like to try," Marcus said. "Try what exactly?" "I would like to come back and spend time there, real time, like you suggested." Elena was quiet for a moment. "Mr. Rodriguez, when you were here, you lost a $20 million deal because you could not leave for 1 day. How can you spend a month here?" Marcus had been thinking about this. "I can teach my assistant to handle more responsibilities. I can do some work by phone and email, and maybe losing that deal was not the worst thing that could happen to me." "What do you mean?" "I mean, maybe I have been so focused on making money that I forgot about everything else that matters," Marcus said. Elena sighed. "Mr. Rodriguez, I have heard many men say things like this. They meet me and think I am exotic and interesting because I am different from the women they usually know. But when the excitement wears off, they remember that they prefer their comfortable lives." Marcus felt hurt. "You think I am just looking for excitement?" "I do not know what you are looking for," Elena said honestly. That is why I think you need to figure it out before you come back. After that phone call, Marcus felt frustrated. He wanted to prove to Elena that his feelings were real, but he did not know how. Marcus started taking Spanish lessons during his lunch breaks. He also started reading about Mexican culture and history. He learned about the engineering innovations that had come from Mexico. He was surprised to discover how much he did not know about the country that was so close to his own. A month after leaving Elena's town, Marcus called her again. "Elena, I have been taking Spanish lessons," Marcus said in careful Spanish. Elena laughed. "Your pronunciation needs work, but I am impressed that you are trying." "Elena, I want to ask you something seriously," Marcus said, switching back to English. "If I come back for a month, what would I actually do there? I do not know how to fix cars." "There are many ways to help people," Elena said. "You could help me with the business side of my shop. You could help other local businesses with their accounting or marketing. You could teach English to young people who want to learn." Marcus had not thought about using his business skills to help a small community. "Would people want my help?" "If you come with the right attitude, yes," Elena said. "But you have to understand. People here do not have much money to pay for business consulting." "I do not need to be paid," Marcus said. "I have enough money." "That is not the point," Elena said. "The point is whether you can be happy doing work that helps people instead of work that makes you rich." Marcus thought about this. He realized he had never done work just to help people before. "Elena, can I ask you something personal?" Marcus said. "Yes. Have you ever been in love?" Elena was quiet for a long time. "Yes, I have." "What happened?" "I was engaged to a man named Diego when I was 25, Elena said. "He was an engineer who worked for a car company in Mexico City. He was smart and kind, and I thought we would be happy together." "What went wrong?" "He wanted me to move to Mexico City and work for his company. He said I was wasting my talents. In this small town. He could not understand why I wanted to keep my father's shop." Marcus felt a pain in his chest. "So you chose your shop over him?" "I chose to be true to myself over trying to be what someone else wanted me to be," Elena said. "Diego loved the idea of me, but he did not love the real me. The real me belongs here, with these people doing this work." Marcus understood that Elena was warning him. She was telling him that if he wanted to be with her, he had to accept her as she was, not try to change her. "Elena, what if someone could love the real you and still want to share your life here?" Marcus asked. "That would be wonderful," Elena said. "But that person would have to prove that they could be happy with a simple life in a small town." 2 months after his car had broken down, Marcus made a decision. He called his assistant, Jennifer, into his office. "Jennifer, I need you to take over running the company for 6 weeks, Marcus said. Jennifer looked shocked. "6 weeks? Sir, what is wrong? Are you sick?" "No, I am not sick," Marcus said. "I am going to Mexico to learn something important." "What kind of business deal requires 6 weeks in Mexico?" Jennifer asked. Marcus smiled. "It is not a business deal. It is a personal deal." Marcus spent a week preparing for his trip. He arranged for Jennifer to handle all his responsibilities. He studied more Spanish. He bought work clothes instead of business suits. Most importantly, Marcus broke up with his girlfriend, Rebecca. "Marcus, I do not understand," Rebecca said. "You are giving up your business to chase after some Mexican mechanic? This is crazy." "Rebecca, I am not giving up my business," Marcus said. "I am trying to figure out what I really want in life." "You want money and success," Rebecca said. "That is what you have always wanted." Marcus realized that Rebecca did not know him very well. She only knew the version of himself that he had been showing to the world. "Maybe I want something different now," Marcus said. Rebecca shook her head. "You will regret this, Marcus. You will miss your comfortable life and you will come back, but I will not be waiting for you." Marcus felt sad but not sorry. He realized that he and Rebecca had never really understood each other either. Before leaving for Mexico, Marcus called Elena one more time. "Elena, I am coming back next week. For 6 weeks?" "Are you sure about this?" Elena asked. "No. Marcus said honestly. I am not sure about anything anymore, but I know I need to try. What changed your mind? Marcus thought about his answer. I realized that the night I met you, when I made that stupid promise, maybe it was not completely stupid. Maybe some part of me already knew that you were special. Elena was quiet for a moment. Mr. Rodriguez, if you come back, you need to know that I will not make anything easy for you. You will have to work hard, get your hands dirty, and live, like everyone else here. I understand, Marcus said. And you need to know that I might decide you are not right for me, Elena said. Spending more time together might show us that we are too different. I understand that too, Marcus said. Then, come, Elena said, let us see what happens. As Marcus packed his clothes for Mexico, he felt nervous and excited. He was about to leave his comfortable life to chase after a woman who might reject him. He was about to spend 6 weeks in a place where his money and status meant nothing. For the first time in his adult life, Marcus Rodriguez was about to find out who he really was when he had nothing to prove and nothing to hide behind.
1 year after Marcus first met Elena, they were married in the town square of her hometown. The wedding was unlike any celebration Marcus had ever experienced. Marcus wore a traditional Mexican wedding shirt that Elena's mother had made for him.
By hand. Elena wore her grandmother's wedding dress, which had been carefully preserved for 30 years. The whole town came to celebrate with them. I have never seen so many happy people in one place, Marcus said to Elena as they danced to music played by local musicians. This is what happens when a community celebrates together, Elena said. Everyone feels like they are part of something important. Marcus's family and friends from Texas came to the wedding too. His parents were surprised to see how much their son had changed. His former business colleagues were shocked to see him, happy in such a simple setting. Marcus, are you sure about this? His father asked privately. You are giving up everything you worked for. Marcus looked at Elena dancing with her young cousins. Dad, I am not giving up anything important. I am gaining everything that matters. During the wedding ceremony, Marcus and Elena made promises to each other in both English and Spanish. They promised to love each other, to work together, and to serve their community. Elena and I are not just getting married today, Marcus said in his wedding speech. We are also announcing the launch of our new company, Rodriguez Morales Automotive Innovation. The crowd cheered. Many of the people in the town would have jobs with the new company. Elena spoke next. Our company will develop new automotive technologies right here in our town. We will prove that innovation can happen anywhere when smart people work together. 6 months after their wedding, Marcus and Elena's company had its first major success. Elena had invented a new type of fuel injection system that made cars use 30% less gasoline. Car companies around the world wanted to buy licenses to use her invention. Elena, your invention is going to save millions of people money on gasoline, Marcus said as they looked at the contracts from major auto manufacturers. And it will help reduce pollution too. That is what I always hoped my work could do, Elena said proudly. Marcus had sold his company in Texas and used the money to build a modern research facility in Elena's town. The facility employed 50 local people, including many young engineers who had studied at universities but returned home to work. Marcus, you have brought opportunities to our young people that we never had before, Mrs. Morales told her son-in-law. I am proud to have you in our family. Marcus felt deeply happy to have earned the respect of Elena's mother and the acceptance of the community. Elena and Marcus's company grew quickly. Within 2 years, they had developed 5 major automotive innovations. They licensed their technologies to car companies, but they always kept the development work in their hometown. We could make more money if we moved the company to Mexico City or the United States, Elena told Marcus one day. But that is not what we want, is it? No, Marcus agreed. Our success only means something if it helps the people who helped us. Marcus had learned to live very differently from his old life in Texas. He and Elena lived in a comfortable but simple house near Elena's mother. Marcus walked to work every day. He knew all his neighbors. He coached a youth soccer team on weekends. You ever miss your old life? Elena asked him one evening as they sat on their porch watching the sunset. Marcus thought about his answer. I miss some of the conveniences. I miss having a lot of money to buy whatever I wanted. But I do not miss feeling empty inside. What do you mean? In my old life, I worked hard and made money, but I did not feel like my work mattered. Marcus explained. Now, when I see young people from our town getting good jobs at our company, or when I see cars around the world using your inventions to pollute less, I feel like my work has meaning. Elena smiled. That is how I have always felt about my work. Now you understand why I never wanted to leave. 3 years after their wedding, Elena became pregnant with their first child. Marcus was nervous and excited about becoming a father. What kind of father do you want to be? Elena asked him. Marcus thought about his own father, who had always been busy with work and had missed many important moments in Marcus's childhood. I want to be present, Marcus said. I want to teach our child to work with their hands and their mind. I want to show them that success means helping other people, not just making money for yourself. When their daughter was born, they named her Sophia, which means wisdom in Spanish. Marcus held his tiny daughter and made her a promise. Sophia, I promise to show you that the most important things in life cannot be bought with money, he whispered to her. Love, family, community, meaningful work. These are the treasures that matter. Elena and Marcus's story became famous in their region of Mexico. People told it as an example of how love can change people and how business can help communities, instead of just making rich people richer. Young people in the town grew up hearing about the arrogant American businessman who fell in love with the local mechanic and learned to value things that really mattered. Do you think our story sounds too good to be true? Elena asked Marcus one day. Marcus laughed. 6 years ago, I would have thought it was impossible. A rich businessman giving up his lifestyle to marry a small-town mechanic? It sounds like a fairy tale. But it is not a fairy tale, Elena said. It is real life. It happened because you were brave enough to change and I was brave enough to trust you. Marcus looked around their workshop, where Elena was training 3 young engineers to develop new automotive technologies. Through the window, he could see the town where they lived, where their daughter would grow up, where their company was bringing prosperity to people who had worked hard for generations but had never had these opportunities. Elena, do you remember what you said to me the day we met? Marcus asked. I said many things that day. You made me angry, Elena laughed. You said that real marriage is about 2 people who respect each other and want to build a life together, Marcus reminded her. Elena nodded. Yes, I remember. I think we have built a good life together, Marcus said. Elena looked at their daughter playing in the corner of the workshop, at the young engineers learning to develop new technologies, at the thriving business that was helping their community prosper. Yes, Elena agreed. We have built something beautiful. Marcus Rodriguez had started as a man who thought success meant having more money than other people. He had become a man who knew that success meant using your talents to help other people have better lives. Elena Morales had always been a brilliant engineer who chose to serve her community instead of pursuing personal wealth. She had found a partner who shared her values and helped her dreams reach the world. Together, they proved that love can bridge any gap between cultures, between social classes, between different ways of understanding what makes life meaningful. Their marriage began with a mocking promise made by an arrogant man to a woman he underestimated. It became a true partnership between 2 people who respected each other's talents and shared a vision of using their success to help others. And yes, Marcus Rodriguez did marry Elena Morales, just as he had promised. But more importantly, they both became better people because they were brave enough to build a life based on love, respect, and service to others.